Hey, YouTube land, how's it going out there today? Hey, Jeff, I don't know if you're still here, but honey, you're not late. You were early. I come on about 10:10. That's my time here, so that'd be 1:10 Eastern. And, I got a 5-minute intro just so I can get my coffee and stuff and let the dog in or out because she always wants to do something just as I sit down. So I gave myself a little leeway. But hi, good to see everybody. I'm not sure who's here, but hello, how are you doing today? I was going to be outside, but it decided to be, 12, 15 mile an hour winds, which is just going to, it's not fun to sit in it, and it's just going to, mess with the mic. So Doug and I will try again on Sunday afternoon. I wanted to go sit in the tortoise cage this morning. He came out yesterday. And sorry I didn't get that video up. I was up till about 2 o'clock in the morning posting for the next month for my lives. So it gets complicated when you have 2 channels. So yeah, but I got all my schedule up for the next month so you guys can find me. And I've updated the descriptions under the videos, so all my links are there, like all my links. No one can't tell me they can't find me. Everything you need to know is under my videos. Go ahead and click the link. But yeah, so it's been an interesting week. It got really, really warm. It was like 85 degrees a couple days ago, and just been really nice. And I'm like, oh yay, spring's finally here, and we can not worry about all this foolishness. And yesterday was gorgeous, and I went out and I was messing around in the tortoise enclosure and made sure his pond was all filled up and, just checking it out, cleaning it up. I knew he'd be out soon. So I went around back and took care of all the creatures, came back in the house, and I was opening windows and whatnot, and I look out, and oh, there's the tortoise. So there you go. It's spring. He's up. I'm excited. It's very nice to see him. Took him for a good soak in the pond. He had a nice breakfast. He's not up again yet today, though, because it's too windy. He doesn't like the wind any more than the rest of us do here, so. But, I was very excited. My tortoise is awake. Yay! Such a strange thing to have a part-time pet. Never had one like that before. Something that hibernates, Never had shared custody of a pet or anything. So it's kind of weird that, you have this pet for 6 months of the year and then he's just gone. But you still have the big cage in your front yard and the pond, and, But I can tell you my gas man will be excited because there's a good shot I'll end up getting some gas this summer because we have a gas stove. We got a real cold snap after my last delivery. Usually I only get 2, maybe 3 deliveries a year. I thought I was going to get away with 2. But he always comes after the tortoise goes, to hibernate. So he's never seen him. A couple years he's been coming, never seen the tortoise. So this summer I'm going to have to get in a call before the tortoise goes back down just so the gas man can meet him. Yes, this is my life, folks. This is what I do. I entertain the delivery people with my pets. I really do. I've had more than one UPS man want to take a cruise to the backyard to say hi to the donkeys, so it's pretty funny. But, so yeah, I don't know. I've just been hanging out. Well, I haven't really been hanging out. I've been busy. I've been very busy, actually. Getting my auctions together, doing my auctions, doing the shipping, doing the invoicing. Oh, PayPal unlocked me. Yay. Everybody's invoices went out this morning before I fed donkeys. So there you go. So I'm excited. People are buying things. I really like it. It's very nice, and I'm having fun. It's social. It's been fun selling. I've been liking it. So, other than that, yeah, that's what I've been doing. Calling PayPal, talking to people in India on bad cell phones where they sound like robots. But it's getting there. Hopefully everybody else is getting some decent weather. I think we're just about done with this foolishness, right? March is almost over, folks, almost. And then comes all the pretty flowers. Wish we had some. I still haven't gotten around to planting bulbs because I don't have a secure enough fence to keep things from eating them. But I would like tulips and daffodils and hyacinth and, all the pretty spring flowers. I had some roses. I don't know if they're coming back this year. They don't look too good. So I don't know. Flowers are not working out so well for me here in Arizona. But there's silk. I can always just buy silk and stick them in the ground. Cows will probably eat those too. It's tough when everything wants to eat everything. It's in Connecticut I had a lot of problem with deer and rabbit. I couldn't grow anything because they just ate it all. And here I've got cows and ground squirrels that eat everything. So I don't know. Kudos to all you folks that are actually managing to get it done, because I've grown for 2 years. The one year that we were really into it was the year that it was so hot, everything stunted. I even grew glass corn that year, but it was like, I don't know, maybe 6 inches total. I mean, they were tiny. But I saved them because those are seeds, and guess what? You can plant them. Hi, Larry. Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. I'm just hanging out. I was going to go outside and play in the tortoise enclosure, but it's like, 15-mile-an-hour winds and pretty nasty, so maybe Sunday. We will see. I've managed to pull off a couple lives outside, so I'll keep trying. The weather's got to cooperate with me. But yeah, thanks for showing up. It's nice to have people hop in. I think YouTube has, what do they call it, throttled me or, whatever. Shadow banned me. I used to have quite a few people showing up, and then I started talking about things that, you're not supposed to say, and then all of a sudden, oh, no one shows up. It's like, oh, well, whatever. I'm just going to keep showing up and talk, and eventually people will find me again. But I don't have any major, life-shattering information today. Nothing big, bad, good, or otherwise has really been going on. I've been busy, which is a good thing. I've been actually keeping pretty busy, so boredom has not been a problem. And try not to get overwhelmed because, you go from having nothing to do and deciding to schedule yourself to do 5 lives or whatever, recorded things, and it gets a little complicated, but I'm working it out. And for me, those of y'all don't know me, I'm a Virgo. I'm a little bit, OCD, but yeah, I do like things a certain way, and I try to take care of business, and in my younger years, I get very, very stressed out when it didn't go the way I planned, or when I bit off more than I could chew and I couldn't get it done and stressed myself out. I've learned my lessons. I'm doing better with all that, so that's good. Oh, coffee is good. Hi, Anna Nolan. How's it going? I'm glad I got I'm on my computer so I can have both screens open because, yeah, your comments are showing up about 10 seconds after they post on YouTube. So if I don't answer you right away, it's because I didn't see you. Sorry, StreamYard. I was going to go to EBUMux, but then it's like, wow, I have to relearn a whole system, so I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to stay here. I'm paying for it now. I didn't have to pay for it until all of a sudden the morning of my live, my first sale, I got an email telling me that I only had 45 minutes of time of my 20 hours, which I'd only used 4, because they went and changed it from 20 free hours to 5 free hours. Oh, okay. Gypsy, hi. Thank you for listening to my daily devotionals. I'm really glad you enjoy them. I was hoping somebody would, because they take a lot of time to do. Yes, StreamYard, I don't know. I mean, is there a service that actually works? I thought about trying to go live just from YouTube, but, you can't do a lot of things. And, yeah, today, who cares? I'm just sitting here with a blinky picture, but, when I do want to, share stuff and whatever, it's really a pain to do it direct from YouTube, and I'm just tired of learning systems. I'm just too old, and I don't care. I just don't care anymore. Just give me a start button and a stop button. That's all I want. And I keep saying, everyone's all excited about this tech. Where's my Rosie the robot where I can say, hey, I need blah, blah, and it's done. And I don't have to, go digging through code to make it work. I don't like digging through code. I don't understand the code anymore. I used to, but now I don't even know what actually. I don't play with any of my programs in the computer anymore. I used to be able to like rewrite it and make web pages and all kinds of stuff that, Well, you know what? I'm making money, so oh well. I'm going to pay for it. I don't like that I have to, but whatever. I mean, if I just want to sit here and chat with people, I don't have to. But if I actually want to do the live sales and have it function and work, I got to pay. You got to pay for everything these days. There's nothing free in this world, is there? Oh, boy. Well, Larry, it's really good that you're here. I've only known you through Rhonda's channel. I've checked out your channel a couple of times, but this week I haven't really watched anybody's much of anything because I've been busy doing my own stuff, and it's hard to watch other people when you're on the computer, so, doing the things. Yeah, I was not really happy about the whole pay for thing, and I mean, I get it. They're a company. That's kind of why they're in business, to make money, right? But yeah, they're asking for quite a bit of money. More than I think is fair, but whatever. Like I said, by the time I got to that point and I'd gotten everything all set up, and you weren't around, Larry, but ask Rhonda, I was literally pulling my hair out. The tech and me just don't get along. So the fact that it's up and running and, I'm leaving it alone. Yes, the Desert Rose Beads and Baubles is my other channel. And last night I was up until 2:30 in the morning, so please don't make that be for nothing. Under every video that I posted yesterday and going forward are all my links, all of them. If y'all can't find me, you're not looking. Literally, just click the ... more under any video on this channel or the other channel, and you will find links to here, to there, to all the lives I do, to the videos I post, the podcast, daily devotional, all of it. It's all there, all of it. And I would love to have you guys join me. I have a Discord channel. I'm on X. I have an Instagram account, but I don't really understand Instagram. I'm not sure how to post to it. I know, I'm old. I don't care. I have X. I know how to do that one. I used to, I do still have a Facebook account, but I am locked out of it. Yeah, I know, Larry. We were having fun with you yesterday. I was there yesterday. Remember, you joined my channel. That's how you found me. Oh, funny. But yeah, I'm still working on trying to get back into my Facebook account. I actually have a sales page over there called The Peach Rose. I've actually been making and selling jewelry since 2000, just not on YouTube. And it's kind of funny because a lot of people are like, oh, you're new and you need to do this and you need to do that. And I definitely appreciate the advice and the help and the fact that people really are genuine and want you to do well. But yeah, I'm not new to this. I'm just new to YouTube auctions, but I think I'm doing okay with them. I really did spend a good 6 months visiting everybody's channels, ordering from people, reading their rules, listening to their rants about, what customers do. So I'm very, very thankful to the sales community for all the education I got before I did my first sale. And so far, everything's been great. The people have been awesome. The tech, But other than that, I mean, it's all been great. People have been really nice. Even if they're not buying, they're showing up and chatting with me and keeping me company. And, that's pretty much why I'm online. I'm in a good position. I'm not, there are lots of sellers on there that need to make those sales to pay their rent. I got a husband with a good job and, we've paid off our bills. We're old. We've been working hard for the past 20 years to get where we're at. So we're not wealthy, but we're comfortable. So, I don't need the money, but I would like to help contribute because I have a pet fetish, in case y'all haven't figured that out yet. And they get expensive. I mean, we spend about $1,000 a month on our pets. So, that's all coming right out of Doug's paycheck unless I'm helping. Thank you. So, yeah, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Other than I need friends. I need some socialization. It's not good to just sit home all the time by yourself. Doug works. The kids are gone. There are not a lot of people around town that I can socialize with. And I'm not really looking to go out and about. I'm a homebody, always have been, and I'm okay with that. So, but yeah, it gets lonely. It gets, boring. So yeah, I'm really enjoying my online social life, and I definitely thank y'all, you guys, for coming and being part of it. It's been fun. It's really been. I've met some really cool people. All walks of life, all different countries, all different, cultures. I love it. I'm fascinated by people. Don't really like hanging out with them in person, but I'm fascinated by the psychology of people. It doesn't sound good, does it? Oh, yeah, I'm a small circle kind of girl. I'm not antisocial, but I'm not really looking to be in big crowds. I much prefer a smaller, intimate, get together, some real conversation, that kind of stuff, talking about weird things. I am just like so excited about all the stuff coming out about the pyramids. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're on like really, really early, right, Larry? You're on the East Coast, I think. I think you're on like 3 o'clock in the morning or something for me. Sorry, honey, I'm not gonna be making that one unless I'm up in the middle of the night, which does happen. If you catch me, it's because I'm not sleeping. So, but I'll come visit. But yeah, sometimes I have topics, sometimes I don't. I actually have a little short video I want to play for you guys today, if anybody's interested. And I've been sharing it with people since high school when I read it. So, that was a while ago. I graduated in 1985. Yeah. But anyway, it's called Harrison Bergeron. And it's, pretty much a short video that really, in my opinion, I've been telling, like I said, since the 80s, I've been telling people this is what's happening, this is where it's going, pay attention, stop complying, guys, we need to get it together. And people are like, yeah, 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 oh, this is easier. That's something else I gotta say. We have life way too easy, folks, here in the United States of America. If you don't think so, get yourself a little vacation package together, go somewhere. And I don't mean like Paris, go to a normal, regular place in a different country. Stay there for a week. Don't be a tourist and go see what it is like to live in another country. Read their papers, look at their TV, go to the park and just see what's going on. Talk to people. Try to go somewhere where either you speak the language or they speak English so you can have conversations. But yeah, living in different countries. I mean, Doug and I have lived in different states all over the country, north, south, east, west. Yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting. And a lot of the people that, are running our country, they don't have a clue. They're coming from metropolitan areas. They have no idea what country living's about. They really don't know what it's like to make a decision to buy your blood pressure medication or pay your electric bill. We know that. The people running things, they should just go have their own little country and play dress up with each other, because they don't know what we're doing. They don't know how tough it is for everybody. And I'm very sad for all the sick people. There's so many really, really sick people. And it's stress, folks. It is. It's stress. You got to stop fighting what's going on. And I don't mean, just comply and let the government do what they want. I mean, change is happening. We have to change with it, or we are going to get left behind or get really sick and not make it, because we can't keep getting just so stressed out. It's so bad for our bodies. But anyway, the point of this is that we gotta get our heads out of the sand and start paying attention so that we can we can get this country back together and we can start being happy humans again. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Let's get that Constitution working again, huh? All right, guys, let me share this with you. Hopefully you'll like it. I like it. It's about 12, 15 minutes, something like that. It's not too long, but it's pretty good. If you'll let me share screen. The share screen thing's the problem here. All right. Give me a second to get it up and running. And I guess volume would be good. Mute is not good. All right, guys, here you go. Have a listen. I hope you enjoy it.
Harrison Bergeron by Kurt Vonnegut Jr. The year was 2081, and everybody was finally equal. They weren't only equal before God and the law, they were equal every which way. Nobody was smarter than anybody else. Nobody was better looking than anybody else. Nobody was stronger or quicker than anybody else. All this equality was due to the 211th, 212th, and 213th Amendments to the Constitution and to the unceasing vigilance of agents of the United States Handicapper General. Some things about living still weren't quite right, though. April, for instance, still drove people crazy by not being springtime. And it was in that clammy month that the HG men took George and Hazel Bergeron's 14-year-old son, Harrison, away. It was tragic, all right, but George and Hazel couldn't think about it very hard. Hazel had a perfectly average intelligence, which meant she couldn't think about anything except in short bursts. And George, while his intelligence was way above normal, had a little mental handicap radio in his ear. He was required by law to wear it at all times. It was tuned to a government transmitter. Every 20 seconds or so, the transmitter would send out some sharp noise to keep people like George from taking unfair advantage of their brains. George and Hazel were watching television. There were tears on Hazel's cheeks, but she'd forgotten for the moment what they were about. On the television screen were ballerinas. A buzzer sounded in George's head. His thoughts fled in panic like bandits from a burglar alarm.
"That was a real pretty dance, that dance they just did,"
said Hazel. "Huh?" said George.
"That dance, it was nice,"
said Hazel. "Yep," said George. He tried to think a little about the ballerinas. They weren't really very good, no better than any else would have been anyway. They were burdened with sash weights and bags of birdshot, and their faces were masked so that no one, seeing a free and graceful gesture or a pretty face, would feel like something the cat drug in. George was toying with the vague notion that maybe dancers shouldn't be handicapped, but he didn't get very far with it before another noise in his ear radio scattered his thoughts. George winced, and so did 2 out of the 8 ballerinas. Hazel saw him wince. Having no mental handicap herself, she had to ask George what the latest sound had been. "Sounded like somebody hitting a milk bottle with a ball-peen hammer," said George.
"I'd think it would be real interesting, hearing all the different sounds,"
said Hazel, a little envious.
"All the things they think up."
Said George.
"Only if I was Handicapper General, you know what I would do?"
said Hazel. Hazel, as a matter of fact, bore a strong resemblance to the Handicapper General, a woman named Diana Moon Glampers.
"If I was Diana Moon Glampers,"
said Hazel,
"I'd have chimes on Sunday. Just chimes. Kind of in honor of religion."
"I could think if it was just chimes," said George.
"Well, maybe make 'em real loud,"
said Hazel.
"I think I'd make a good Handicapper General."
"Good as anybody else," said George.
"Who knows better than I do what normal is?"
said Hazel. "Right," said George. He began to think glimmeringly about his abnormal son who was now in jail, about Harrison. But a 21-gun salute in his head stopped that.
"Boy,"
said Hazel.
"that was a doozy, wasn't it?"
It was such a doozy that George was white and trembling, and tears stood on the rims of his red eyes. 2 of the 8 ballerinas had collapsed to the studio floor, were holding their temples.
"All of a sudden you look so tired,"
said Hazel.
"Why don't you stretch out on the sofa so you can rest your handicap bag on the pillows, honey bunch?"
She was referring to the 47 pounds of birdshot in a canvas bag, which was padlocked around George's neck.
Go on and rest the bag for a little while, she said. I don't care if you're not equal to me for a while.
George weighed the bag with his hands. I don't mind it, he said. I don't notice it anymore. It's just a part of me.
You've been so tired lately, kind of wore out, said Hazel. If there was just some way we could make a little hole in the bottom of the bag and just take out a few of them lead balls. Just a few.
2 years in prison and $2,000 fine for every ball I took out, said George. I don't call that a bargain.
If you could just take a few out when you came home from work, said Hazel. I mean, you don't compete with anybody around here. You just sit around.
If I tried to get away with it, said George, then other people would get away with it. And pretty soon we'd be right back to the dark ages again, with everybody competing against everybody else. You wouldn't like that, would you?
I'd hate it,
said Hazel. There you are, said George. The minute people start cheating on laws, what do you think happens to society? If Hazel hadn't been able to come up with an answer to this question, George couldn't have supplied one. A siren was going off in his head.
Reckon it would fall all apart,
said Hazel. What would?
Society?
Said Hazel, uncertainly.
Wasn't that what you just said?
Who knows, said George. The television program was suddenly interrupted for a news bulletin. It wasn't clear at first as to what the bulletin was about, since the announcer, like all announcers, had a serious speech impediment. For about half a minute, and in a state of high excitement, the announcer tried to say,
Ladies and gentlemen.
He finally gave up, handed the bulletin to a ballerina to read.
That's all right,
Hazel said of the announcer.
He tried. That's the big thing. He tried to do the best he could with what God gave him. He should get a nice raise for trying so hard.
Ladies and gentlemen,
said the ballerina, reading the bulletin. She must have been extraordinarily beautiful because the mask she wore was hideous. And it was easy to see that she was the strongest and most graceful of all the dancers, for her handicap bags were as big as those worn by 200-pound men. And she had to apologize at once for her voice, which was a very unfair voice for a woman to use. Her voice was a warm, luminous, timeless melody.
Excuse me,
she said, and she began again, making her voice absolutely uncompetitive.
Harrison Bergeron, age 14,
she said in a grackle squawk,
has just escaped from jail, where he was held on suspicion of plotting to overthrow the government. He is a genius and an athlete, is under-handicapped, and should be regarded as extremely dangerous.
A police photograph of Harrison Bergeron was flashed on the screen, upside down, then sideways, upside down again, then right side up. The picture showed the full length of Harrison against a background calibrated in feet and inches. He was exactly 7 feet tall. The rest of Harrison's appearance was Halloween and hardware. Nobody had ever borne heavier handicaps. He had outgrown hindrances faster than the HG men could think them up. Instead of a little ear radio for a mental handicap, he wore a tremendous pair of earphones and spectacles with thick, wavy lenses. The spectacles were intended to make him not only half blind, but to give him wanging headaches besides. Scrap metal was hung all over him. Ordinarily, there was a certain symmetry, a military neatness to the handicaps issued to strong people, but Harrison looked like a walking junkyard. In the race of life, Harrison carried 300 pounds. And to offset his good looks, the HG men required that he wear at all times a red rubber ball for a nose, keep his eyebrows shaved off, and cover his even white teeth with black caps at snaggletooth random.
If you see this boy,
said the ballerina,
do not, I repeat, do not try to reason with him.
There was the shriek of a door being torn from its hinges. Screams and barking cries of consternation came from the television set. The photograph of Harrison Bergeron on the screen jumped again and again, as though dancing to the tune of an earthquake. George Bergeron correctly identified the earthquake, And well he might have, for many was the time his own home had danced to the same crashing tune. "My God," said George, "that must be Harrison." The realization was blasted from his mind instantly by the sound of an automobile collision in his head. When George could open his eyes again, the photograph of Harrison was gone. A living, breathing Harrison filled the screen. Clanking, clownish, and huge, Harrison stood in the center of the studio. The knob of the uprooted studio door was still in his hand. Ballerinas, technicians, musicians, and announcers cowered on their knees before him, expecting to die. "I am the Emperor," cried Harrison. "Do you hear? I am the Emperor. Everybody must do what I say at once." He stamped his foot, and the studio shook. "Even as I stand here," he bellowed, "crippled, hobbled, and sickened, I am a greater ruler than any man who ever lived. Now watch me become what I can become." Harrison tore the straps of his handicap harness like wet tissue paper, tore straps guaranteed to support 5,000 pounds. Harrison's scrap iron handicaps crashed to the floor. Harrison thrust his thumbs under the bar of the padlock that secured his head harness. The bar snapped like celery. Harrison smashed his headphones and spectacles against the wall. He flung away his rubber ball nose, revealed a man that would have awed Thor, the god of thunder. "I shall now select my empress," he said, looking down on the cowering people. "Let the first woman who dares rise to her feet claim her mate and her throne." A moment passed, and then a ballerina arose, swaying like a willow. Harrison plucked the mental handicap from her ear, snapped off her physical handicaps with marvelous delicacy. Last of all, he removed her mask. She was blindingly beautiful. "Now," said Harrison, taking her hand, "shall we show the people the meaning of the word dance? Music," he commanded. The musicians scrambled back into their chairs, and Harrison stripped them of their handicaps too. "Play your best," he told them, "and I'll make you barons and dukes and earls." The music began. It was normal at first, cheap, silly, false. But Harrison snatched two musicians from their chairs, waved them like batons as he sang the music as he wanted it played. He slammed them back into their chairs. The music began again and was much improved. Harrison and his empress merely listened to the music for a while, listened gravely, as though synchronizing their heartbeats with it. They shifted their weights to their toes. Harrison placed his big hands on the girl's tiny waist, letting her sense the weightlessness that would soon be hers. And then, in an explosion of joy and grace, into the air they sprang. Not only were the laws of the land abandoned, but the law of gravity and the laws of motion as well. They reeled, whirled, swiveled, flounced, capered, gambled, and spun. They leaped like deer on the moon. The studio ceiling was 30 feet high, but each leap brought the dancers nearer to it. It became their obvious intention to kiss the ceiling. And they kissed it. And then, neutralizing gravity with love and pure will, they remained suspended in air inches below the ceiling, and they kissed each other for a long, long time. It was then that Diana Moon Glampers, the handicapper general, came into the studio with a double-barreled 10-gauge shotgun. She fired twice. And the Emperor and the Empress were dead before they hit the floor. Diana Moon Glampers loaded the gun again. She aimed it at the musicians and told them they had 10 seconds to get their handicaps back on. It was then that the Bergeron's television tube burned out. Hazel turned to comment about the blackout to George, but George had gone out into the kitchen for a can of beer. George came back in with the beer, paused while a handicap signal shook him up, and then he sat down again. "You been crying?" he said to Hazel.
"Yep,"
she said. "What about?" he said.
"I forget,"
she said.
"Something real sad on television."
"What was it?" he said.
"It's all kind of mixed up in my mind,"
said Hazel. "Forget sad things," said George.
"I always do,"
said Hazel. "That's my girl," said George. He winced. There was the sound of a riveting gun in his head.
"Gee, I could tell that one was a doozy,"
said Hazel. "You can say that again," said George.
"Gee," said Hazel, "I could tell that one was a doozy."
Well, there you go. I hope some of y'all stayed for the whole thing. I know it's not. I'm sorry, it's not a nice story, but this is, since the 80s, this is what I've been seeing. That this was coming our way, And yeah, this is very exaggerated. Please let it be very exaggerated, but I'm not liking this digital age. I'm not liking it at all. I'm not liking, you know, I don't like a lot of things. Shocker, right? I mean, this goes back to, the No Child Left Behind, when, my kids were very bright and they were not getting what they needed from the education system because, well, we have kids that can't read in fifth grade. Well, why can't they read in fifth grade? You obviously have not been doing your job. So you shouldn't handicap my child because some other child isn't up to par. It's your job to get the other child up to par and help my child continue to exceed. That's what I'm worried about with this whole, I'm really glad they're getting rid of all the rainbow stuff. And diversity. Is that the word? Because I don't see it that way. I see it as a way of handicapping everyone else, just like this story, Harrison Bergeron. This has been around for, I don't know, probably since I was born. And I read it in high school, and I have never forgotten it. And I've shared it over and over. Every now and again, it gets through to somebody. I mean, it's not like a magic wand and everything. It fixes everything. But, the part that a lot of people miss is the hope. The dancing on the stage and the hope and them feeling for real. And not caring anymore about society's rules and just being humans. We got to do that, folks. We got to do it. And, I'm sorry that I lost a couple people here listening to that one, but it's a good one. And hopefully you all come back and listen to it again. If you're not a fan of that version, that's my particular favorite version of it. There's a bunch of them. They even have a movie or a TV show or something. I don't know. I never watched it. I always find that, once you read the book, the movie's not good. And if you do the movie first, the book doesn't make sense. But, I have always loved that. Always, always loved that. And it's been, something I've carried with me. And everybody's got their own special talents. And just because they may not be, getting gold stars from society for having them does not mean that they're not important. And just because you're gorgeous doesn't mean that you're a nice person, and vice versa. And I don't know. I take people one at a time. I know that I've had fallouts with people because, oh, you can't be friends with that person. They did me dirty. It's like, okay, I just met this person. I don't know this person. I don't know what the circumstances were. It's none of my business. And literally until you do me wrong, I'm going to give you a shot. Do me wrong, yeah, we're gonna have some words, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just much more accepting of a lot of things than a lot of people are apparently, and I don't understand a lot of things about how it functions out there. So I'm just trying to figure it out. I mean, seems like a lot of problems are money problems, and a lot of the money problems are really imaginary. How much do you need, folks? And believe me, I am not trying to say that there aren't people out there that really are in need. There are, definitely, 100%. But there's so many people out there that have so much, and all they do is whine and cry because they couldn't get the pink one. They had to get the blue one. Wow, guys, it's just not that hard. Look how good life really is. I mean, yeah, we've all had problems. We've all lost friends, family members, jobs, homes, cars, things and stuff. Things and stuff. And the people that you lose, they probably weren't meant to be there forever. And that's a hard lesson too. I mean, you hook up with somebody, and I don't mean, hook up. I mean, you're friends, you're hanging out, your lives are intertwined, and then they're just gone. Well, it leaves a gap, and you got to fill it. And what I've learned is through my years, because now I'm 150 and I know everything. But, the people that have come and gone, whether they've, moved, it's not friends anymore, not necessarily a big falling out, but there's been some of those too. They've died, whatever. They were in my life for a reason. And if I just keep being miserable about it and, I'm pretty sure that person would not want me to be that way. They wouldn't want me sitting around being miserable. I don't think that they would have been friends with me in the beginning if that's how I was. So I don't think that it would, please them to see that the fact that they're gone makes just life, bleh. We have to keep moving forward. And, maybe we had to lose that person because we had to make room for another one that we don't know about yet. I don't know. I don't know how all this works, folks. But I just don't want to see so many sad and sick people. And I just think we have to really start living as human beings instead of living as corporate entities and just going out there every day to get more for what? What do you need? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we all like shiny things. I sell jewelry. I like shiny things. You just can't let them rule your world, though. And you can't let, society tell you how to live. I mean, yeah, within boundaries, we all have them. I mean, we all pretty much 10 commandments. Hello. You stick within those. I mean, if you're a jerk, people aren't going to hang out with you. So that's on you. You know what I mean? So, but if you're being genuine, even if you don't necessarily mesh, people will feel it. They will know that you're not trying to be a jerk. You may just literally not understand, or you just have a different way of doing things. And you know what? That's okay. People don't have to be the same. Do we want to be Harrison Bergeron? I don't want to live that way. That's what I've been fighting against since the 80s. I don't want to be living under control, under surveillance. I mean, this whole thing with PayPal this past week, the lady was just like, she didn't know what to say to me. I'm like, okay, so y'all want my picture. You won't give me the button to push to upload the picture. And then I did upload the picture. And then I uploaded the picture again. You're still telling me to upload the picture. Oh, well, I don't see it. Well, okay, well, I see it. There's two of them. Oh, yeah. Okay. So now here's my question. What do you need my picture for? You don't know me. You've never seen me before. My driver's license, which is what I uploaded, has my physical street address. It's not my mailing address because we don't have a mailbox at our house. We have a post office box. So can you explain to me exactly what, verification this picture is? Well, we didn't used to have to do it, but now, I said, yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is, you do understand the absolute ridiculousness of this, right? And the fact that I've had a PayPal account with you for, 15 years with all the information other than the name. Everything else is identical, including the bank accounts. You can't verify me that way. I said, this is just getting to the point of, you're trying to make everything too hard for everybody. People are just going to quit, which I know is part of the deal. The more you get frustrated, the more you try and things don't work out, or you just have to spend so much time fixing a problem that you didn't even cause, you just quit. And that's what they want us to do. Don't quit, folks. We got this. I keep saying it, and I'm not sure anyone's believing me, but we got this. We do. We are the majority. We just have to stop going along with everything they say. And yeah, I really like to not file and pay taxes, but I really don't want to go to jail or my bank account's locked up. So I'll be filing the taxes, but that doesn't mean you can't also write the letters saying, hey, you know what? Pretty sure this is not legal. There's people we can write those letters to. I mean, we have to be proactive. We have to start stepping up or shutting up, because if you're really not going to be part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Isn't that the saying? Yeah, I'm on the soapbox again, and I don't even know how I got there. I didn't get enough sleep, apparently. But yeah, I'm worried, folks. I'm worried. I don't want to see any more sick people, but I think the next couple of years, we're going to see a lot of problems, and a lot of it's going to come from those jabs that we're not allowed to talk about, and people are getting strikes and kicked off YouTube for talking about. So you know, we got real problems that don't involve all the distractions and fluff that's going on out there. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting. Because at this point, I feel like I've gotten my act together as much as I am capable of doing so as of today. And I think I'm on my right path and I'm living the way that I believe is an acceptable way to live. Not much more I can do about fixing a lot of other things except being nice to people, trying to share happiness, trying to keep my chin up, right? Yeah, I gotta do some more of that too. I saw my wrinkly neck on my lives the other day. It didn't look good. Now I'm getting vain. This whole YouTube thing is getting me crazy. The blinky light picture is much better. Oh boy. So yeah, guys, I don't know. I've just been thinking about a lot of stuff. I think there's a lot of stuff that we're going to start hearing weekly. I think they'll keep it to weekly for the time being. But, that disclosure, it's coming out, the secrets. Why? I don't know. Because of Project Looking Glass, they said all the timelines converged and it didn't really matter what you did. It was all going to be the same in the end. So I think that means that they have no choices anymore. They have to stop lying or covering it up or whatever it is they do. I mean, it's quite obvious there were ancient civilizations that, this planet was populated and technologically advanced and everything else. So, Hawass, I was telling people the other day when they were talking about the big structures they found under the pyramids now. I didn't hear, but Hawass, he was the head of the Egyptian everything over there. He could tell you if you could or couldn't touch anything. Apparently, he was arrested, and I believe it was in like 2019 or 20. I didn't hear it. I don't know how I missed this story. He was arrested for stealing copper wire from the pyramids. Did anyone else know there was copper wire in the pyramids? Gee, they weren't power plants, though. Nope. I don't know what to say. Oh, and copper. Y'all got copper? No, go get it. It's up. It's like 5 something a pound or something now, which is like huge for copper. But watch your copper in your house and stuff from the people that like to go and take it. So stock it up on yourself, but make sure you're protecting it because people are going to be wanting it. And I heard there's a big rash of catalytic converter thefts again, too. So watch your cars, watch your pipes. I mean, are these words that we should be saying, people? This is what I'm talking about. What is wrong with people? I don't know. But hey, it's spring, right? They're sending all the people, all the migrants back to their countries. So those of you that need work, need some extra money, there should be some farming jobs available and you can get out in the fresh air, get some exercise, eat some good food, make some money. Who knows? Maybe you can go live in a different part of the country you never lived in before and meet some new people. I don't know. I think it's time to shake it up. Like I said, Age of Aquarius, changes are happening whether we like them or not. So stop fighting them and find one that, works for you. Because I think we're all just going to have to change what we do. I did. I'm not sitting around being a bum, doing nothing, waiting for Doug to come home. Now I'm actively selling things, actively getting the house together. Actively pursuing social media and friendships online. And I feel better. I do. And I'll say I feel better also because I'm taking turkey tail. Well, actually, I'm taking a 5 mushroom mix. I think that stuff is magic. And I am going to keep on taking it. And I think you guys should all take it. Everybody should take it. It's a food. It's not a drug. It's a food. They're mushrooms. They grow in the ground. They squish them all up, put them in little pills, and you pop them in your mouth. You don't like that? Do you like mushrooms? Eat them. I really don't like mushrooms. Otherwise, I'd probably throw them in everything I cook because, mushrooms are good. And you all want to go back to the Bible? Here you go. God put everything we need on this planet way back when. What are we taking all these pharmaceuticals for with chemicals? Why? Why are we doing that? Yeah, there's some stuff that, you can't wait around for a root for 6 months to fix the thing that's going to kill you in 2 weeks. I get it. But on the regular, no. Y'all, we got to stop with this. We got to start eating better, which I know is hard because we don't have good food. Well, start finding it. And you know what? Maybe you're only going to have 4 or 5 different things. Start figuring out new ways to cook them. Go get yourself some spices and change it up. Make a sauce. I don't know. We got to start doing the human things and stop doing the corporate things, because corporate things are not human. It's just not normal and natural to spend your entire life working all the time so that you have money to pay the bills for the things that you don't have time to use, or if you do have time, you're too damn tired to care. So come on, let's have some fun. I want to have fun. I can't have fun if everybody's tired and grumpy and sick. So y'all need to get better so we can have some fun and play. It's spring. Anybody feeling the spring fever? I am. I was really looking forward to sitting out on the patio with you guys today, but unfortunately, overcast and windy. So we will try again. We will. We'll go outside and play. I'd like to have you guys come out and sit in the tortoise cage with me, and maybe he'll come out and play. Or if he doesn't, well, maybe a bunch of birds will come. It's fun to watch the birds in the tortoise pond. See, this is what I enjoy. This is, I don't know, too much of that stuff and nonsense out there that just really doesn't mean anything to me. Now, in my daily life, I've been criticized a lot over my lifetime for having so many pets and, going on vacations and stuff. It's really, you got 10 pets, you have horses, you have exotics like chinchillas and lizards and parrots. It's not like you can just get a dog walker, it's really hard to get someone to come and take care of your pets so you can go away. You shouldn't have all those pets. It's like, okay, well, 99% of the time, those pets are my company. These people that, because I couldn't go to a wedding. I haven't seen you in 3 years, and the only reason you want me at the wedding is to fill a table. Otherwise, I would be talking to you more on the regular. But you know what? My dog, every morning, she comes over and she's all happy to see me. Every day. Every single day. So why do I like pets? Because they give me a lot. They provide me with company. I'm a caretaker. I like taking care of things. And animals aren't complicated. They don't care what color your pants are. They don't care if you brush your hair. They just want you, your attention, your time. I prefer people like that too. I don't really care what you look like. I don't care if your house is messy. Are you a good human being and you're enjoying spending time with me? Cool. We can be friends. It's not about all that. I really, I'm like a toddler. I want to play. I'd love to have someone come over and hang out and bake or make crafts or, I don't know, whatever. Play in the yard, go for a walk, look for lizard. I don't know, stuff. Human interaction, not just, oh, look what I bought today. I mean, not that I won't be excited that you bought something you wanted and it was fun and cool, but how you feeling? How you feeling? What's stressing you out today? What made you really happy today? There's a whole lot more to us than we even allow ourselves to think. And I think a lot of people don't like to think about it because they're not really happy because they've made choices that have made their lives difficult, or in order to make themselves happy, they have to make hard choices, which, nobody likes doing, and nobody likes change. I think I talked about that the other day, like living in robot mode. I'm one of those people that I like to do something once, do it right, have it done, and not have to do it again. But daily life, that isn't how it works, so that's been a hard one for me. I don't like repetitive stuff. I like moving forward, but, and when I was doing this a while ago, not long after we moved here, I started really getting into cooking and like really doing different recipes. And, I wasn't working. I didn't have the kids. Like I said, I was bored hanging out, but you can only cook just so much. And Doug was, he said, hey, I don't want to say this, but you got to stop baking so much because my pants aren't fitting. So, I really got into it for a while. So now that spring is here and we'll start getting some more good fresh fruits and veggies and that kind of stuff. So I was talking to Doug about the other night when I was cooking. It was like 80 degrees in here, and it's like we got windows and doors and fans, and it's like I don't want to turn the AC on yet. It's not even April. But, turning the oven on, it gets really hot in the house. So it's like I'm going to have to start doing crock pot meals again, which sounds counterintuitive for summer, but in Arizona, you don't want to turn the oven on. Sometimes even boiling water is, a little much. So, I got to start doing crock pot things. And, I do things like tuna salads and, chunk up a whole bunch of different veggies, throw in a can of tuna fish, some noodles and mayonnaise, and we'll eat that for 2 days and, that kind of stuff. So got to start looking up some good summer recipes and start cooking again and that kind of stuff. And I don't know, I think I'm going to be pretty busy over the summer with all of my scheduled lives now. And that's new. And I want to get back into doing my tarot card readings. I'm going to do that on Desert Rose. But first I got to get this schedule that I have going under my belt. I want to make sure that I'm doing it right. I don't want to take, bite off too much and then, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to ship your order, or I didn't get my daily devotional scheduled, or, I'm trying to take this one step at a time and get comfortable doing where I'm at. And, hopefully, I don't know when. I don't know. I'm hoping by July I can start doing my tarot. We'll see. I don't know. But, so I got a lot of plans to keep myself busy and hopefully entertain some of you guys and, hang out and chit chat and just goof around and enjoy living, enjoy being, an old retired chick with not much to do. I got to get out there one of these days here soon and brush down the horses and donkeys because, the hair is starting to fly. It's like imagine a German Shepherd times 100. That's what's going on out in the corral. Because I got 4 big dudes out. Well, 2 dudes and 2 chicks out there, and they're all hairy as crazy. Gypsy's the thickest one. So she's not quite there yet. You don't want to yank. So, she'll need another week or 2. But the boys, they could probably go for a good brush. And if it gets warm, maybe not this weekend, maybe next weekend, I can give them all a good bath. I don't know if the donkeys will let me bathe them. I've only gotten them a couple times over the years because donkeys don't really like water. But the horses love a bath. So, that's what I'm going to do and just keep on keeping on. So other than that, not a whole lot going on. Doug and I will be on Sunday. I've got a pop-up, well, not a pop-up, a end of the month sale on Monday, my regular sale on Wednesday, and then I'll be back here again on Friday. And every day you got your daily devotionals coming out, and in my free time, I'll be posting up some more critter videos. So all my links, and I do mean all my links, are in the description under every video from here forward. So feel free to click this channel or the other channel, and you'll be able to find me. Come join me on X or Discord. You can leave me a message on Instagram. I know how to do the messages. I just don't know how to post over there. So, I'm working on that. And, that's about it, guys. So I do hope everybody's going to have a great weekend. Come hang out with me and Doug on Friday we're on at 2, so 5 o'clock Eastern. And other than that, hopefully everyone's having some nice spring weather, getting outside, playing in the dirt. As always, folks, sending much peace, love, and harmony from Petrichor Ranch in Arizona. Y'all get some sun if you can. And I'll talk to you soon. Big hugs.